Welcome back to our vlog today, and today we are looking at a specific aspect of grammar called personal pronouns.
So, before we talk about what a personal pronoun is, then let us first look at what a pronoun is exactly. Now, a pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun. We use a pronoun to replace a noun. And let us remind ourselves also what is a noun. A noun is a naming word. It is a name of people. It names things. It names places. It names idea. When you say Abdallah, when you say John, when you say Rehema, all those are referred to as nouns. So we use pronouns to replace nouns. Instead of saying Charles went to school, you can say he went to school. So he has replaced Charles. Now, these nouns can be subjective or objective. And when we talk about the nouns being subjective or objective, what do we mean? So when we talk about this, we mean that a noun can either be a doer of an action or it can be a receiver of an action in a sentence. Now, what is a doer and what is a receiver? The doer is the one that we refer to as a subject, and the receiver is the one that we refer to as an object. So when a noun is used in a sentence to show the person or the thing doing an action, then we refer to that noun as a subject. And when it is used to receive an action, then that noun is referred to as an object. An object can either be direct or indirect. That means a direct object will receive the action directly, and the indirect object will receive the action indirectly. Save that for another class. Now, we are saying that we can replace these nouns with pronouns. And these pronouns are the ones we are referring to as personal pronoun. Look at this sentence, for example. Samia bought 5 books. Samia here is our subject doing the action of buying. So Samia bought, and what was bought are the new books, and the new books are the ones that are receiving the action of being bought, and therefore we refer to them as objects. So these subjects and objects can be replaced with personal pronouns. And we've said that the personal pronoun refer to the pronouns that replace a doer or receiver of an action. So in English, we have 3 persons. And these 3 persons are the first person, the second person, and the third person. Each of these persons have their subjective and objective forms. For example, now I am narrating to you, my listener, a story about CIMAD University. So I, the narrator or the speaker, is the one that is referred to as the first person. So a first person is the person who is speaking or narrating. Now you are listening to me, so you become the second person in this conversation. And we are talking about CIMAD University. So CIMAD University being something that we are talking about, then we refer to CIMAD University as the third person. Now, the third person is also classified into gender. When we are talking about a male person, then we will say he. When we are talking about a female person, we'll say she. And when we are talking about an animal or a thing, we will say it. Thus, CIMAD University, being an organization, we refer to it as it. So it is the third person pronoun that is being used to replace the name CIMAD University, which is a noun. Now, these personal pronouns also exist both in singular and plural form. For example, we have said in the first person, we use I, and that is if it is one person. If it's more than one person, then say we. In the subjective case, for example, I cooked rice. The doer of the action is the person speaking. So, I. If we were many doing, more than one person, and you still narrating, then you say, we cooked rice. In the same first person, if we are looking at the object, the receiver of the action is the one who is speaking, then we'll say the teacher called me. So me is the singular pronoun that we use in the first person when we are talking about object or objective case. And if we are many, then we'll say the teacher called us. So us is the pronoun that shows plural form in the objective case of the first person pronoun. The second person pronoun remains you throughout, both in the subjective case, in the objective case, in the singular form, and in plural form. For example, if it is one person reading, you, I'm addressing you. The second person is the person I'm speaking to. I'm addressing you, and I'll tell you, you are reading. And if you are many, maybe 10 or 20, I'll still address you. You are reading. In the objective case, we will also use you. For example, I bought you a pen, or I sent you to the market. So we still using you, even in the objective case. And in third person, we are using he, she, or it. In the plural form, in the singular form, I mean in the subjective case, and they in the objective case. When we use he, we refer to the male gender. When we use she, we refer to the female gender. And when we use it, we refer to neutral gender, or we refer to things and animals. They is used as a plural. For example, he wrote a book. He wrote a book. He is a subject, a third person. The person is not there in that conversation. The first and the second person are there in the conversation. That means the first person is speaking, the second person is listening, but the third person is not there in the conversation. It's being spoken about. So when we say he, the he is not here. Maybe it is Caleb, maybe it is Njoroge. Is not where we are speaking from, and then we say he. So he is a subjective pronoun, a subjective personal pronoun representing a male gender. When it's a female gender, we say she. Naima went to the market. Naima went to the market. She went to the market. When we are talking about an animal, then we will use it or a thing. For example, the roof is leaking. It is leaking. The cow ate grass. It ate grass. And when we are talking about the plural, that means more than one thing, then we use they. Students came early today. They came early today. In the objective case of the third person pronoun, then we have him to represent the male gender, her to represent the female gender, and it to represent things or animals. For example, I brought the book for him. Him is the receiving the action. It is an object that is representing the male gender. Maybe him in this case might be referring to Kevin, might be referring to Stephen, a male gender. Her is used to refer to female gender. She swept the house for her. The action of sweeping is being done on behalf of somebody of a female gender. And when we are talking about an animal or a thing, then we use it. I want the book. I want it. So that is what we refer to them. And lastly, when we are talking about plural and in the objective case, in the third personal pronoun, then we use them. For example, we will call our parents. Our parents can be collectively referred to as them. So we'll say, we will call them. Thank you. And that marks the end of our lesson on personal pronouns.